Good day and good morning. I am Cadet Captain Gordon, and I'm going to be talking about a couple things that are very important in Civil Air Patrol, but we don't really cover as much because it doesn't cover the mainstream spotlight. So if any of you are interested in ground team search and rescue, or anything to do with UDF, or, well, anything to do with GES, you've probably heard the term 24-hour pack and 72-hour pack more than once. The only problem is, no one's really told you what to do with 24-hour packs. So I'm going to cover just a little train of thought, some evolutions of my 24-hour pack, and what I thought was best about them, and what I thought was worst about them. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the first bag that I used with Ground Team Search and Rescue was just a standard school bag. The great thing about it, and honestly the great thing about backpacks, was they already are built with extra room, so it's really easy to work with them. It's not like, oh crap, I can't find any more room, or somebody just gave me some extra resources, I don't know where to put them. It gives you extra room, and that was the great thing about it. The bad part about this, and specifically this school bag, is that it doesn't have any back support. So when you're carrying it for like 6-7 hours a day, it is truly one of the most painful experiences ever. I had to do, what was it, like a 3-4 mile search and rescue exercise with this thing on, and it was the absolute worst because all my equipment would sit weirdly and it would just jab into my back. So it's good for when you're starting out, but it's not something you want to heavily rely on. The next 24-hour pack I went to was the combat suspenders. So the combat suspenders are honestly really great, and the one thing that was super nice about them is everything I needed was right in front of me. So if I needed to say, I was like, hey, Cadet Gordon, yeah, what's up? Where's your compass? I could just grab and whip it out instead of dig through my bag. So that was actually really nice. It was ease of access. Problem was, because you have to buy new pockets to put on this, and there's not a huge excess amount of room, it's kind of difficult to put extra things in, and you really do have to be smart with managing your equipment. You got to make sure it's in a good spot, and you got to make sure you can get to it reasonably quickly, and you know how to repack it. So that was one good, well, that was a pain in the butt kind of thing about it. But one thing you may or may not notice with it is when you put it on, the one huge problem is if you don't adjust it right, this thing will dig straight into your hips and can make for a really terrible day. I had that happen specifically with this bag because I weighted it really heavy in the back. So the problem was it was sitting like this the entire time while I was doing search and rescue and just absolutely destroyed my hips. So it's very good if you equip it right. This one specifically requires a crap ton of fine-tuning. So you want to fine-tune it, go with tons of hikes, tons of ruck marches, as much as you can do to punish yourself and this bag. So then when the time comes and you really are needed to depend on this bag, that you know how to use it and you know it's comfortable. So it's good, but it requires a lot of fine-tuning to make sure it's comfortable and can work for you. The next bag I went to was called a weighted vest. I believe specifically it's called a weight-bearing vest, and you typically used like Gulf War time period, and it was basically a upgrade to the combat suspenders. One thing you notice about it is it has these pockets up here, which I'm going to be honest was absolutely awesome because you could open up a pocket, put your compass in there, you could put your safety glasses in there, you could put your vest in there, you could put just about anything in these pockets, and so that was a really great thing. It also had this little attachment on the back here where you could set your bag. It had an attachment where you could put basically everything. So that was one thing that was really great about it. However, the same problem exists with this one that you saw with the combat suspenders, which is when you put it on and you don't get it together well, the thing that will happen is it'll dig into your hips. Specifically with this one, I had the exact same thing happen, which was it just dug into my hips, and that really is kind of the problem with these web belts, is if you don't adjust them right and you don't go out of your way and out of your time to adjust them, they really can be some of the most painful and just quite honestly terrible things to wear. So you really want to go out of your way and put in a lot of effort with adjusting this and the combat suspenders. The next bag I went to was a front-facing chest rig. So how the chest rig kind of worked is you throw one side over, then you throw the other side over, and kind of fit on a little weirdly. The only problem with it was, well actually wait a minute, fit on like this, there we go. The only problem with it is all your weight's on the front, and there's really no room to attach anything to the back. I mean, you really could rig it if you wanted to. But the problem was everything would lean forward, so you find yourself walking like this most of the day. So that was one thing that wasn't really too beneficial about it. However, you could carry your 72-hour pack at the exact same time, which was the great thing about this, the combat suspenders and the load-bearing vest. So those were two really great things about these bags, was ease of access and you could carry a backpack. But the main problem still is it sits funny, and again, if you don't adjust it super well, it can be an absolute pain in the butt, which is a tough lesson I had to learn with both of those bags. So if you get something like this or get something like that, you need to keep those two things in mind, which is you're going to run out of room, and if you don't adjust it, it's going to be very painful. The next 24-hour pack I went to was the tactical vest. So this tactical vest in particular, the main problem with it is if you look at the way it's designed, it doesn't really adjust super well. And when I got this, I was like 13, so I was a lot smaller. So it didn't fit. It was a pain in the butt to get on. And again, it doesn't have extra room. So if somebody gave me extra supplies, I was quite honestly crap out of luck because I didn't have anywhere to put it. Again, great benefit of it was I could put on my 72-hour pack and just go for hours. So that really was a great thing about it. But one thing you really do need to keep in mind about these tactical vests is you need to have tons of extra room, because if you don't, you're going to be sitting there carrying some supplies someone's giving you, and you're going to be like, I have no idea where to put this. And in turn, it's going to make you less efficient and also in turn make your team less efficient. So that's one thing you really do need to keep aware of these tactical vests. Also, another thing, if you're going to go with a tactical vest, don't get these little like crappy ones you get from Amazon. Go out and get yourself a good one, but only do that after you've been in ground team a while and you know that you really want one. Because if you don't, it's just going to be a waste of money, and that's one thing you really just don't want to do. Alright, the next bag I went to was this huge behemoth of a backpack. And I gotta say, the one thing I really loved about the backpack was you could carry just about anything in here. And when I mean just about anything, I mean just about anything. I had my poncho, my cold weather coat, an extra pair of pants, an extra blouse, underwear, and an extra pair of boots in here. I had an entire extra uniform plus more in here. And that was absolutely wonderful. I remember for a Sarix, I showed up, and they nicknamed me Pack Rat, because when they said unload your bag so we could check everything, I just kept pulling things out after thing after thing, and it was really cool. And it was really great because I was prepared for almost any mission all of the time. So that was one really great thing about it. But one problem with it is you can't carry your 72-hour pack with it super well. What you in turn end up doing is carrying it around on the front of you like you're pregnant, and trying to carry a bag behind you at the exact same time is not the most comfortable thing in the world. Also, back to what I was talking about with the other things is it doesn't have great ease of access. So if you wanted to access it, you'd have to set it down, you'd have to open it, you'd have to root through it, try to figure out where it was, pull it out, then zip it back up. And by that time, your team's already sitting there looking at you like, can we hurry up, please? Or what's happened is your team's still walking, and now you got to go catch up with them. So the great thing about it is you have tons of room, it's easy to carry, but you also don't have that ease of access. So that's just kind of some coverage with this bag in particular. Now comes to my final and current integration of my 24-hour pack. What I'm wearing is a 511 tactical vest, which did cost quite a bit of money, but it was totally worth it. This thing is incredibly comfortable, it fits incredibly well, and I can go several miles without it even bothering me. What I have on under it to just make it a little tighter so it fits to my body a little better is a camelback. But that also has its own benefit, which is I have an extra water supply on top of it being able to carry water already. And the great thing about these vests is they're super modular, so say, oh, I don't want this, and I'm going to need an extra bag, I can just take it off and put an extra bag right here. Or due to the way that the sides are made, you can just stick patches right on the little side rivets right here, and that makes it super easy to just carry random things. So not only is it modular, it's also incredibly comfortable, so those are two really huge benefits about it, and it's really easy to carry a bag with it. So my past 24-hour pack, this one right here, you can easily get it on with the rest of this bag on. It may take you like 2 seconds. For me, it takes me like a couple seconds, and then I can get the other arm on, and then you just throw it on. But the thing is, now you can carry your 24 and your 72 at the exact same time, so that was the great benefit of this. And for the problem with me running out of room, I have extra pouches on this just in case someone gives me extra things. So now I have extra storage and I have the accessibility and comfort. So this, in my opinion, is the best 24-hour pack for me. This is the last thing I'm going to cover, and this is something that I want everybody to really keep in mind. What works for me may not work for you. You need to find a 24-hour pack that works for you. You need to find something that works for not only your body, you need to find something that also can carry what you need. So that may be, in your opinion, you may say, yeah, I'm going to go with the tactical vest because it works best for me. Or, hey, I'm going to go with the backpack because it works best for me. The mistake I made when I first got into ground team is I thought what worked best for other people would work best for me. You really have to figure out what bag and what kind of setup works best for you. I'm Cadet Captain Gordon, and thank you for watching. I really hope this helped. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you have any video suggestions or things that you want to answer, also leave them in the comments.